Hello, my name is Laurent Gharda. I'm the founder and CEO of LinMin. And what we're going to do today is provide you with a short demonstration of our product, LinMin Bare Metal Provisioning. So our product has two main purposes. One is to remotely enable data centers to have their servers and blades provisioned automatically, remotely, unattended. And the other main feature that we offer is imaging, which allows one to take an exact bit-for-bit backup of any system and restore it to that system for disaster recovery purposes, or to clone it so that you can have a highly configured system that can be replicated infinitely on similar types of hardware. So our focus is the data center. The majority of our customers are hosting companies. We have one major partner who is Cisco, who also resells our product under the name Cisco Server Provisioner. And so what you're going to be seeing for the next 4 to 5 minutes is going to be a demonstration of our product. So I've entered my credentials. I'm going to log in. And we're immediately presented with links to our tutorial, which can also be found online. And so this is a way for people who don't use the product every day to be able to quickly access the environment. So remember, I said there are two main functions, provisioning and imaging. Again, provisioning is as if you were to go to a system with a DVD in your hands, insert it into the CD-ROM drive, and answer questions and wait and hope that you have the same results when you go from machine 1 to machine 50, which is unlikely, thus the reason for having an automated provisioning tool. So I'm going to spend a few minutes first going into provisioning, and I'm going to go to the navigation bar, and first let me show you the concept of templates. So a template refers to a combination of operating systems or hypervisors and potentially applications and other items that get executed during the installation process. So here we have examples of CentOS, VMware ESX, Red Hat Linux, SUSE Enterprise Linux, Ubuntu, Windows 2003, Windows 2008 R2, and so forth. And so each of these can then be arbitrarily assigned to a physical system. So now that you understand the concept of templates, let me show the concept of provisioning roles. So a provisioning role is a unique combination of a system name, its MAC address, and this is where you start from. And you will assign an IP address, you will give it a host name, and so on by editing the roles. So each machine in your data center is going to have a unique role. And by the way, everything I'm doing with this GUI can also be done through an application programming interface. So through the API, you can automate all these functions, integrate them into your hosting backend service such that when a credit card is approved, you can automatically trigger the provisioning of a system based on a specific configuration. So let me just go arbitrarily to any one of these, and let me choose the first one. And so now we are in the system provisioning role. And so this is for a Cisco UCS data center, so this is why they all have UCS mentioned in them. And remember we talked about the templates. Okay, so if I click this button here, I can repurpose this machine to be any of these operating systems, just as simple as that. So I could say, let me go to Windows 2008 R2 Enterprise Edition, and I don't need to change anything other than say, provision the next time this machine powers up, and now you're completely ready to repurpose this machine from being a Red Hat Enterprise Linux to a Windows Server 2008 R2 Enterprise in this particular case. And you can see at every time for each of these machines what is the next anticipated motion or movement. So for example, this machine is set to ignore, so no matter how many times it reboots to the network, it will always be ignored. But all these other ones, the next time they boot will be serviced and delivered with the contents of a specific operating system, specific control files that you establish, applications that you may wish to have added on at the same time, and so on. So that covers the overview of provisioning. The next step is imaging. So let's go to the imaging menu. And the concept here is identical in terms of how you identify a machine that needs to be imaged. So going back to the concept of imaging, we think of it as copying every bit of information from every disk on the system, storing it on the LinMin server, and being able to reproduce / restore a given machine or clone it, because you may have one perfect scenario that you like in terms of the perfect setup, and you wish to be able to, on demand, have 500 or 500 of the same machines built automatically based on the bit contents of that particular system. So if I were to go to any one of these profiles, I would basically be presented with this screen where, again, the MAC address is the driving element, and there'll be a unique username, and you basically specify what you want to call the directory that it gets stored on the LinMin server, and then you basically go and say, yep, this machine, next time it boots to the network, I want to back it up. And so I'm clicking this item, and it says backup. In conclusion, LinMin bare metal provisioning is intended for data centers that have either large numbers of systems or have frequent purposes or needs for reprovisioning. So thank you very much for your time. For more information, please go to www.linmin.com.